Today's show is brought to you by Microsoft 365. Quick reminder, everybody, January 14th of 2020, Windows 7 is coming to an end, and that is not just for consumers, that is for small business and enterprise and everybody in between. If you haven't thought about migrating or started the process, you need to do that. There's links and resources down below, and make sure you get that ball rolling. That is 7 shows on the schedule, completed in a row. I'm expecting...
Seven? This is 8, isn't it?
I guess it is.
Today?
Yeah, we did one Monday. We did, yeah. Look,
I mean, I guess just showing up.
The streak is so long, I can't even remember, Mr. Thurrott.
I'm so proud of us.
I am. Maybe we should take tomorrow off. You know why? Let's ruin a modestly good thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of, this was supposed to be enlarged.
That's good. So what
I tell that to my wife too.
Right. This show was delayed slightly by the fact that Brad was having problems with Miracast, and then when we started, actually, those problems persisted.
Yep. There's no pill for that one either. Anyway, so I wrote up a small little post yesterday. Microsoft's exploring new chips. I actually heard again this morning that the AMD laptop is still happening. One of the primary reasons they were having trouble with Intel getting a price to performance ratio that they were satisfied with. And so that's why they started exploring AMD, because as we all know, the AMD processors are cheaper and their new gen stuff is looking a lot better.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a AMD-based Surface laptop. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I've heard, that it's a Surface laptop.
Seems like a good match because, obviously when you think Surface laptop versus Surface Book, it's almost like laptop versus portable workstation. Obviously, the Surface Book 2 has, DGPU and, separatable screen and so forth. But I think this is a nice differentiator, Plus, I also think this machine and also the Surface Pro are good candidates for Qualcomm hardware at some point as well.
Yeah, and there is in fact a Surface Pro with a Qualcomm chip in it that Microsoft is playing with. They're building it on campus, which some people got confused by. When I say building on campus, I mean Microsoft is building it, not like the Surface Go where they found an original device manufacturer who just say, hey, build us a small tablet that we can put our Surface logo on.
Yeah.
Microsoft is much more heavily involved with the design, development, production.
Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. I mean, given history and the way that the Surface lineup has evolved, do you think Microsoft would drop the Pro moniker for a Qualcomm-based version of Surface?
Yeah, I wonder if they would call it something.
Surface
because
4,
it falls into that always connected, because it's going to. You would have to think they would have LTE built in, like that would be dumb not to. And Microsoft has always done this dumb thing where they have waited 6 months roughly after they ship the device to ship the LTE version.
Yeah.
And that was partially because terrible Intel modems and stuff like that. And so now by going to
no
Qualcomm,
one has ever been bit by terrible Intel modems. What do you mean?
No. I mean, I hear that division's doing very well. It's very
that business is going gangbusters.
Apple's so happy with them. It's anyways. So if you don't know that joke, go look up Apple Intel modems. But it would make sense that that's how they would shift to an LTE product for that type of a device. I think it makes more sense because you're not. I don't. And somebody's going to write in and tell me I'm wrong, but I don't think people buy LTE-based connected hardware for high horsepower needs. They do it because they want connectivity when they're out standing in the middle of the farm or the grocery store or whatever. They buy it for the connectivity, not the horsepower.
I'm sure that Microsoft and, more important, other PC makers have good data that will explain that very few people ever use this capability, especially on higher-end computers and so forth. But honestly, when I think about a modern computer, I think that capability needs to be built in. It needs to be there. And if nobody uses it, it needs a modern OS too. But let's just get the hardware going. And this ties back to that thing that I keep coming back to with Surface, which kind of bothers me. I love the machines, and I know you do too. The most recent ones, especially Surface Laptop 2, Surface Book 2, great machines. But I feel like there's a role that Surface should be playing that it's not, and it should be that thing it was in the beginning, which was showing the world what a modern PC could look like. And I think that includes things that everyone else has embraced, like Thunderbolt 3 and USB-C, of course. But it also includes this thing, that Microsoft sees the always connected PC should be a PC going forward. That should be a baseline PC going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And today, it should be the baseline for what Microsoft does. All of Microsoft's PCs that are portable should be always connected PCs.
Yep.
So,
I tend to agree.
We'll see what happens.
If I'm a little aloof today, it's because we actually met with an architect this morning for 90 minutes, and we got drawings done, or designs, not architectural drawings. And like some of it involves like potentially moving the studio in my house. So I'm like looking up at the roof or like the ceiling, thinking like, yeah, we could move that stuff. I don't know if we're going to do any of this, right? It's all going to come down to how many Cinco de Mayos it's going to cost us.
Nice.
Yes. Anyways, so I was like looking at the roof thinking, well, there's one water line that would have to move, but really that's about it, because this could be potentially like a finished part of our basement's not finished. Everything you see here is an illusion.
Right.
And so part of it would involve finishing about 60% of our basement for my kid to have a nice play space in. Which, if you haven't renewed your premium subscription yet, please feel free to do that.
Yes. We have a half finished basement in this house. Actually, we did in the old one too. I guess technically it just wasn't as nice, but the recording area I had in the old house, of course, was, I think, somewhat like yours, where kind of a fake wall goes up, and I had a corner piece as well. But somebody just asked me if that stuff was still in the old house. I don't remember who asked me that just yesterday, so I probably should be able to remember that. But anyway, to my knowledge, it's still sitting there. Maybe someday I'll go visit and ask them if I can record an episode downstairs in their basement. That won't be weird.
Can I just borrow your basement for a few minutes?
Can I use the kill room to record a short video? Yeah,
the architect was actually very impressed with like this whole. I mean, she's clearly seen a lot of things over her time.
Weird things in people's house.
Not all the lighting and rigor mortis that's down here.
It looks like you have a little recording studio down here. What exactly are you and your wife into?
What's that? There's been a lot of innuendo jokes on this.
Not on purpose, but
maybe are on purpose. Maybe. I don't know. What else is going on in the world? Surprisingly quiet this morning. Not a whole lot going on in the technology sphere.
Well, that's good. We had the big OneDrive news yesterday. I think the world has now digested that.
Well, I mean, what's there to digest? There's very few people who can actually go out and buy additional storage at this time. It's kind of
right. But I mean, the nature of the world is like, hey, Microsoft just gave us something extra. That's great. And then 10 seconds later, wait a minute. How come they didn't go above 2? There's always like the complaint, Baby steps. There's always baby steps.
I kind of want to just walk up to their data center with like a NAS connected to a USB drive. Be like, I need this on my cloud storage. And
yes.
Just a little.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say by the time this year ends, I'll have to buy some extra storage over the amount I'm already using. I think that's going to happen.
I need like 200 gigawatts of additional storage, or gigabits, whatever it is. Gigajoules. That good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Just another day in the neighborhood. There's, I don't know. The only thing I'm really waiting for in life at this point is Apex Legends has their season 2 coming out. I think it's July 2nd.
Wow.
And,
I would like Modern Warfare 2 Remastered to occur. That was rumored a while back, and then there's been all that new Modern Warfare news stuff, and I need something to break me from the tedium that is Black Ops 4, whatever the hell I'm playing now. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Maybe you should try Game Pass. You got a lot of options there, not a lot of
dollars. I did. I am trying that. But, what I need is Call of Duty Pass. But I've put a bunch of PC games on various machines, and, I'm trying. I'm using the controller and everything. It works.
I'm just going to find Paul under a bridge one day, just breathing in a paper bag like I couldn't kick the addiction.
Yeah, with like a Elite controller in my hand so tight they will need like the jaws of life to separate it from me.
Just xCloud just scrawled across the concrete in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing too that I didn't write up in the post, if anybody really wants a black version of the Surface headphones, they do exist. Although,
oh really?
I don't know if they're going to come as a same headphone, different color. People were mixed if that was going to happen, or if it was going to be the second iteration that would actually have the black.
I mean, I said this when they announced it. I don't understand why there wasn't an Xbox version of this, white with green color. I feel like people would buy that.
The whole lack of Xbox integration to begin with. Like I don't own any, but I probably would have bought them if they would have worked with my Xbox.
Yeah.
But they don't. So,
I said, I mean, I can only come up with a few examples, but there are a couple of things in my life where I've run into a lot of people that use something that I just don't use. So, for example, gaming headphones is a good example. Multi-screen is a good example.
Mm-hmm.
And like, these are things I've tried multiple times. I totally get why people want this, like this thing, whatever you're talking about at the time. And it's just something I can't, no matter how many times I try, I'm like, yeah, not for me.
I'm surprised on the gaming headphones because it makes a big difference. Like your KD will go up if you wear headphones.
I know. You remember I was going back to Boston February-ish or something, and I have this awesome, or had, I should say, awesome Omen X gaming display, 128 or 120 hertz refresh, blah blah blah, and I dropped it on the cement floor of my garage and completely destroyed it. So I carted out this older, actually HP monitor as well. It's not a gaming monitor, but it has speakers kind of integrated into the screen on either side. It's like 32 inches. It's big. And the sound quality is not nearly as good as I used to use these dedicated powered speakers. Really nice. Mm-hmm. Sound quality is not good. But, the stereo separation is actually much better. And just moving to that has actually helped. But you're right. I mean, with a headphone, you actually get kind of it's almost like a 3D effect where if someone's behind you, it seems like that's where they're coming from, and that is beneficial. It's totally beneficial. But I just don't like the thing on my head. I don't know. I can't deal with it.
Well, it made my wife happy too, which was also
like not having to hear the
all the time.
I went through a Forza phase when the last Forza game came out, and my wife finally came in one day and she goes, "What the hell is that sound?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "All I hear is wah, wah." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a racing game." And she's like, "Why are you playing a racing game?" I'm like,
"Can't you just go back to killing people, Paul?"
They don't exactly. Who are you? This is not the man I married. Yeah, I don't know.
So, anyways, that's fun stuff. Is the connection dead again up here? No. Look at that.
That's what you need is like it's been 2 days since a Miracast fail.
Yeah. That is actually impressive. That one lasted longer than 3 minutes, so that's fun.
Yeah, there you go. Microsoft technology.
That is it. You got anything else for today, Mr. Poe? The wrap.
I do not. Do you?
I do not. All right, everybody, that wraps it up for today. As a reminder, today's show is brought to you by Microsoft 365. You need to start thinking about your migrations. If you're not, you're going to fall quickly behind. Links down below to get more information and resources, actually, that can help you along with that journey. But to everyone else, that wraps it up for today. Have yourselves a wonderful, what is today? Wednesday.